The boldest.
This is Ministry of Information, located inside Professor Chike Edozem, Delta State Secretary, off of Manam Road, along Miriam Babangida Way, Asaba, Delta State. This is the exact place where an intuition was cleared as regards awarding and revoking of contracts in Delta State. Thus, Anyago, the Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Communications, yesterday during a press briefing at Ministry of Information Conference Hall, stated categorically that Delta State will not award or condone any substandard contractor, adding that any individual or company intending to work with Delta State government should be prepared for a standard result.
The issue of why we had to revoke some projects or contracts. For those of you who are seized of the facts when it comes to contractual agreements and obligations, you know that there are terms that governs every contract. And once that particular term is vitiated, that is, once it is undermined and the partners or one of the partners are no longer keeping to the terms, such contracts can be repudiated. The contractor himself can even ask for repudiation that is no longer going to do, either because the person, the client who gives the job is not meeting up to the terms, or the clients can also put it forward that is no longer going to continue because the contractor is not also living according to what the terms spelled out in that terms of agreement. So there is nothing wrong in a government that is determined to ensure that projects are carried out for the benefit of our people within certain periods, because every contract has a termination point. It's not for perpetuity. So if a contract is for 1 year and within a period of 2 years you have not even progressed to a certain level, I think it behooves on a responsible government to take action, and that is what the Borowoli administration is doing. And those contracts that are no longer serving the interest of the people because the contractors are not moving in line with our expectations as a government and in line also with the terms of engagement, we have to proceed so that our people can get the benefit rather than through dragging and allowing the contractor to hold down such contracts. And I can assure you that we are getting benefits because some of them that were repudiated and were re-awarded, the new contractors are moving with speed. And that's what we want, so that at the end of the day, our people are getting value for the contracts that we have awarded, using their money to execute. So that is the reason why, and we are still examining a number of contracts. We have also made it very, very clear that going forward, any contractor that is not meeting our contractual obligations, the terms of the contracts, and the quality that we envisage that they should give or bring to bear in the execution of such contracts, irrespective of who that contractor is or who is playing the piper for that contractor, we will revoke that contract, because Borowoli's interest is to serve the people of Delta and not just to serve persons. And so we believe that anybody who desires that Deltans get value for money will support us in this regard and not to begin to look for reasons. So it is natural that a contract that is not performing will be revoked, or that a contract that shows that the contractor seems not to have the kind of capacity we do expect, that job will also be taken and be given to those who have the power to execute. Since we have the money to pay, we should be able to at least take decisions to serve our people. That is that with respect to the short contracts.
Mr. Charles Anyago also cleared the air in the aspect of the blackout in Ndukwa land.
Brothers and sisters in the Ndukwa nation, so that some persons are not misled to carry out action that does not tend to suggest that individuals are grateful that government is doing what nobody has done for our people in the Ndukwa nation before. I'm in a position to say so. Now, the issue of power, for a very long time, Nigerians were very clear that power has been strictly in the exclusive list, which meant that it's only the federal government before now had the president, the exclusive president, to be able to carry out certain interventions in the power sector. But over time, there were some form of deregulation starting from the Jonathan administration, which paved way for some private sector players to come in. And that made it possible for certain individuals in the private sector to invest in power generation, and then of course in certain aspects of power distribution. But for a very, very long time, transmission remained the exclusive preserve of the federal government. And that meant that even when you generate, you will need to upload the power you have generated into the national grid for onward distribution to the other parts of the country. But certain form of liberalization have taken place and deepened by the Ndukwa administration to the extent now that states can go into some form of generation, distribution, and make it possible to also transmit to homes like what we are doing here in Asaba, but with under certain conditions, like the independent power plant in Asaba. It's strictly a relationship between the state government and the private sector player. And that is why, like where we are today, the power we're enjoying here is coming from that independent power plant. And a number of other government facilities in Asaba, you are aware, is being powered through the independent power plant. Now the power project is not a state government project. We can only begin to make effort to see how we can begin to also benefit, and that is ongoing. And I'm also aware the deputy governor of the state, who is from the Ndukwa nation, have also led, having been mandated by His Excellency the Governor, to begin to look into how we can ensure that our brothers and sisters, in particularly Ndukwa West and part of Ndukwa East, are served with these power infrastructure. There have been several meetings with them, and effort is being made to deal with the challenges between the then power holding before it moved to Benin Electricity Distribution Company, as to how to settle certain outstanding liabilities so that they can now begin a process of getting them reconnected to the grid. And because there was this absence of power or the grid or along that corridor, the power distribution channels along that corridor being energized, it made it possible for some criminals to tamper with the power infrastructure in that corridor. So which means that it's not a question of coming to settle outstanding liabilities. It will also involve providing certain power or energy infrastructure for them to be effectively connected. So we want to plead with our brothers and sisters in that corridor to begin to see the many efforts of the Borori administration towards making life much more livable for our people in that area, and not to be misled by certain individuals who want to paint pictures that are completely at variance with reality.
Stating that despite the fact that it is a federal government project jurisdiction, Delta State government is making efforts to resolving the blackout in Ndukwa land. Thank you for watching. Please stay connected to this channel for more informative updates. I am Esther Damnet. Good day.
The boldest. The boldest.